Two, one. Hey yo, welcome back to another episode of the ArtsBlock podcast. I'm your host, Eric Curry III, and today we got this fool on the podcast. Got this clown, got my brother on the podcast. We got Mr. Demontae Addison on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, give it up.
What's up? AKA Mr. 75. You already know how we going.
Yes, sir. First things first, how are you today? How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. Well, let's just jump straight into this. You're an actor. You're in the theater. When did you realize that you wanted to become an actor? Like, what was that moment for you?
Oh wow, it was 8th grade. My father was, my dad. He was at my school at the time. And at the time, I was an athlete. Everyone knew me as an athlete. I wasn't going to act. I only had to take the class because it's middle school. You only take gym.
Right.
Alternative, that would be his class. I kind of fell in love with it, like, because when you start actually acting stuff that you relate to, it becomes a more personal thing. And and more at the end of the year, this type of time, we had to write our own scripts, like about personal life, our personal trauma. Like it was very deep, and we had to perform it. And it was just like a beautiful moment where it was like I spoke about something in a way that I couldn't before. Like in my community, you can't really express yourself as an emotional being. So like doing that in a type of form where it's like that will be accepted and still get that message out, like I'm going through something without really like saying I'm going through something in my own words, but in my own words. So that moment, actually writing myself out, like writing my trauma out, performing it, was that 8th grade year. And then I think I was like, yeah, I think I could do it, which was a big risk because, like, mind you, I just started acting, and like I chose to audition for Duke against like 500 kids that's been doing this way before me. So it was just like, wow, whoa. Demontae, are you sure? Like teachers was like, are you sure? I was like, yeah. I was like, I didn't know what I was doing. Didn't know what a monologue was. Didn't know what a scene was. I was going in there and just doing what I need to do,
Right.
The 8th grade moment was like that moment of like, yeah, I think I can do this for a living or something like that.
Did you get scared that, like, so you said that you was an athlete, right? And mainly, like, when you're like an athlete and you're known for that, everybody, they don't really expect you to go into the arts, right?
Yeah.
So were you scared to tell like your friends who are also athletes, like, oh man, like, nah, I'm not going to school for sports no more. I'm going to be an actor. Like, was that like a nerve-wracking experience for you?
Not really nerve-wracking, but an eye-opener. Because that taught me who was really with me and who wasn't.
Right.
Like people I literally been going to school all my life. It's the community. So I've been going to schools around the area, and kids I've been going with known before my dad, like it was just like, before I started this acting thing, like it was like, you're doing acting now?
Right.
Really? No, bro, take this ball. Like you joking or something. Like it was like, no, I was like dead serious. Like I wouldn't come to practice. My coaches was even supporting me, and my teammates wasn't, And I never been the type of person to follow a crowd. Like I always hung around people that I thought would protect me in a way or like have my best interest. But when that moment of me saying I'm going to do Demontae, or my pursuit is to acting, people call me out my name, rumors about me, it was very much like, okay, I'm hated now because I want to do something different out the normal. That's because like when you think of the hood, the getaways are what? Music,
yeah,
and sports, and the military. Those are like the sources of a Black boy getting away. Never an actor, never like, okay, I can do acting. That's for white kids. That's Demontae, you ain't doing that. Like, you're an athletic dude. Why are you doing that?
Right.
Well, them saying that I couldn't do it made me want to do it even more. Just because I like to see people look dumb after I prove them wrong. So like that's something I like to do. So now when they see me now, like I post myself, like it's like, oh my God, Demontae, da, da, da. But it was very much like, okay, I see how y'all move, and I'm gonna distance myself, and always I surrounded myself with people that always had my best interest in heart. You know what I mean? Like always wanted to accept me for me, and not what y'all perceive or y'all think I need to be. You know, so yeah.
But with all those people, like, in a sense, like turning their back on you, right? Did you personally start feeling the way? Like, did you start thinking, man, should I really be doing this? Or like, should I just really, I should have probably just stick with sports. Like, were those thoughts that like went through your mind at the time?
Definitely,
Mhm.
definitely. Because again, I'm losing people I've hung out with probably my whole childhood,
Right.
and to hear it that someone that I thought was like brothers and sisters are actually haters, you know, that did hurt me, but it motivated me at the same time
Right.
because I don't need to prove anybody anything but myself. Like, you know what I mean? I don't owe nobody anything. I owe myself something. You know, I don't just because y'all were friends to me and haters and stuff like that, like all that stuff really didn't click with me right. Like I literally that night when I actually started like hearing stuff about that, actually it was one night when I got in the shower and I actually like was just in there like just thinking like, wow, like I'm hated. Like like my friends hate me. Like I'm really like almost start crying because I didn't know what to do at that point. It was like, dang, will this actually get like I thought I was thinking of so bigger things like what would this do to me? Would it put me in a position where I'm targeted? You know,
Right.
like I was thinking of stuff like that because I was choosing something different and more like what the community think at the time was feminine, you know, like it was very abnormal for me
Mhm.
in my personal way how I carried myself, like to say, oh, Monte's going there acting now. I was like, I didn't know what to do, but I just
Mhm.
stopped caring. Like that's literally how I went about it. But
Right.
I hurt.
As an artist, we are especially like when we are first introduced to our art, that's probably the most free we are with our art.
Right.
Then when we start showing our art to different people, different beings, and we start getting their opinions, we become more closed in and more like, okay, reserved, right?
Right.
Have you ever been ashamed, besides like that time where you were like going in school, or maybe you weren't ashamed then, right? But have you ever been ashamed to tell people like, oh man, I'm an actor, instead of being like, oh, I'm an athlete, I'm going to D1, da 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 da. Had that?
Ah. um, I guess in the beginning processes,
Mhm.
yeah, I was. Because at the time I did feel bad that I felt like I was leaving my friends. I felt I was portraying my people. You know,
Mhm.
it wasn't the other way around at the beginning. It felt like I was turning my back on people I really thought cared about me, and it seemed like I was walking alone. So for some people, I was hesitant to be like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to an art school,"
Mhm.
or I actually want to pursue this acting thing. You know, that wasn't something I was proud of yet.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't know why because it I don't know, like it was just a moment of thinking that I wasn't great enough or something. Like I don't really know why I was ashamed. Well, I do know why I was ashamed because I didn't want anybody to, you know, judge me about my decision, you know, like it felt like a little moment of, okay, I think everybody's going to neglect me now. I think everyone's going to think that I am some type of like, you know,
Mhm.
outcast or something like that. Like I didn't want that. I hate being the center of attention when it's bad. And
Right.
I thought that was a moment of me being the bad person at that moment. So I was definitely hesitant to tell people like, yeah, I'm an actor now. Like I was not proud of that at first.
Right.
So yeah.
So so why keep going? if the way I see it, right? I've been acting at least since I was 6, maybe 7. So all my friends and my family, they knew I was an actor. And when I was like, I'm going to Duke Ellington, like dropping sports and stuff, like my family wasn't shocked. They was like, okay, like I can see that, right? But with you just picked it up in the 8th grade. You known for being an athlete. People looking at you like, yo, when did you just start picking this up? This ain't you for real. What made you be like, nah, this is me. Like this is something I want to do. Like people calling you names, people going through that, people like just being rude to you, right? What made you be like, man, I'm gonna still do it?
My father,
Uh,
siblings, and my mom, my grandma, you know, they taught me that everybody's gonna have their opinion about you,
right.
regardless of how the case may be. Someone's gonna think of you in a negative way, regardless. Like I can feed 100 stomachs in the whole world, 100 stomachs in each continent, every state.
Mhm.
So it's gonna be another 500 haters that's gonna be on the line waiting to critique me on something that they didn't like.
No cap.
And I can't take that as, oh my God, I'm the worst person. Like I'm depressed now that I have haters.
Mhm.
No. Like you're gonna have literally always a critique about you, regardless if it's a critique that you need or critique that's not necessary. You're gonna have some type of opinion about you, and that's what, especially like my father, like because I'm actually following his footsteps. You know, like he's an actor, so it's like, you know, he taught me that Demontae, it's okay. If you do what you need, what like you do, what makes you happy. Like this makes you prideful of yourself, if it frees something about you, unlocks a new box, unlocks a new level that you can't achieve by just playing sports. If anything else don't make you happy, then just you figure it out. Like that's not like a thing that no one else can help you with. And you know, they taught that to me indirectly. It wasn't like an indirect, a direct thing because my father, my mom, my siblings didn't force me to be an actor. They just wanted what made me happy.
Right.
That's what kept me going. And then at the fact that, you know, this is my first time feeling like, you know, my friends are betraying me and stuff like that. I always was the type of person that be like, I'm gonna prove you wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it was a moment of, okay, you don't like me, okay, I watch this. Like
Right.
and that's why I'm keeping going, because at the same time, me unraveling my wounds, unraveling this part of me, unravels another person's. You know, like that's my job as an artist. You know,
Yeah.
to heal my wounds at the same time healing someone else's wounds. You know, so I'm in, like indirectly or not, I am inspired by other people, as in people are inspired by me, and that's why I keep going, because I have a message and I have a mission to help those who are in the same predicament as me or not in the same predicament as me, to feel like they don't have to be forced to any type of expectation or standard that because you come from some type of area, or like you come from this type of area and this is the only roads you have.
Right.
A road can be broken in half and build another one. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how life goes. Like you can always choose another direction.
That's real.
That's how I go about being an artist, and how I'm going about keep going, because I think I can help people. I think I will help people. And I think at this time right now, I am helping people.
Mhm.
And my mission as an artist. And I think I'm gonna keep going with that. That's what keeps me going.
How are you helping people right now?
You know, like in my community, like I'm more so like talking to like kids in my community, like especially like my siblings, like those are my easy access, you know, like younger siblings. And you know, just I don't know everything, but like this knowledge I do have now, or like the battles are already fought,
Mm.
I just say, okay, these are the tools that you need, because half of the time, at the time, I probably didn't have the tools at the moment, you know, or the tools that I didn't realize I had. So like I just like to, you know, speak to some of the kids or my siblings, my friends, my sister's friends, like because they ask the same questions, and it's like I tell them the same thing. You know, everything should be a you choice, nobody else's choice.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, I always want to push people to I will give my experiences, but like, don't let my experiences and my advice force you to do anything. That's my thing. So like, I always want to, especially in my community, because I think in my community, the Black community, we have the least amount of support when it comes down to like choosing different roads.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely like just talking to them or like showing them videos or something, or just supporting them, giving my help a hand, letting them know like, I'm here with you regardless of how the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I'm doing it.
That's interesting. And I want to parallel two things, right?
Okay.
I am a real competitive person. I used to play sports, heavy football and basketball. I will, if you was better than me, you wasn't going to be better than me for that long. You wasn't going to be that good for that long. Trust. As soon as I dropped sports, acting, when I went to Duke, acting was my competitive nature, right? That's where I found that love of competition again, right? But when I started podcasting, this is the sense of peace that kind of balances out the competition. So yeah, I can compete here at this level, but now when everything's all said and done, I still have this level of peace under me, right?
Yeah.
When you first started acting, was sports that competition and acting that peace for you?
Yeah, it was. It definitely was. Because sports, like you said, your mindset, how you go about sports is the same mindset I was. And I think it was the same mindset I was going into acting, but in a different way.
Right.
Sports, I knew I wasn't the best player. Like, you know, when tryouts happen, I knew by the end of the tryout, I got in.
Right.
Not to be like cocky or anything, but it was the fact that I wasn't the best shooter.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't the fastest.
Right.
I wasn't the strongest at the time. Like, I was skinny. I was 14 years old, had the squeaky voice. You know, I was short. I didn't have a growth spurt. You know, I have none of that. Didn't half of the kids in my grade at the time. But I worked hard. Passion will always get over talent. Right. Every time. You know what I mean? And so, especially, and then like with theater, it was the same thing. Mm-hmm. Like going into there, like I wasn't the most talented. Like I might still be the least experienced in my class, but my passion runs through my blood, and that keeps me going as a hard worker. And I don't, fiend from getting noticed by teachers. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, I did my monologue great. Now I want to be in a spring show. Like it's not like I want to get as much as possible from acting. And I think that's the piece of mind like I have towards acting. Like acting should release stress. Like it releases some type of part of me that's tense when I'm actually in it and I'm actually like, okay, breathe in, you take a moment. It's like the sunken place type thing, like I'm all by myself, but in a way.
Right.
Like even like in a scene, like it's like I am, me and you, like, we still talking, we have our connection, we have our stimulus, we have our responses, but it's the internal ease that's gonna burn without, so definitely like acting's been my piece since 8th grade. Acting's always been my go-to when I need to calm down, or like acting has also taught me like, to meditate sometimes. Like, like acting doesn't mean like, oh yeah, I'm mad at the moment, let me go do my monologue to the wall. But like it's taught me like to just be grounded, breathe, and just feel nature. Like just go with the ease of everything and then just find that inner little boy inside.
Right.
Calm down. So like definitely acting has always been my piece.
You know what's funny about like passion? Because I just thought when you said that like you're a sports was your passion, but then you realize that acting was your passion. Your passion can be one thing, then it can quickly become another thing. Like once you like discover something else, your passion can quickly become that, right? I just find that really funny because like that happens with a lot of people. Like a lot of people will be like, "Oh, let me play sports. Ah, like sports is cool, but I really like business." Or let me play sports. Oh, but I really like acting. Like this is like your passion can really lie anywhere for real, for real. Um, but Demonte, it is about that time. Looking at the clock, I ask every Duke student this. You are no different. My boy, Demonte, do you or do you not go to Duke Ellington School of the Arts?
Nah. I'm like, I do go to a Duke Ellington School of the Arts, the upcoming senior in Duke.
Hey, my boy finna graduate.
So excited.
My boy finna graduate. Oh,
no, don't talk about it because I'm still trying to figure out in my head too. But like, it's nerve wracking. That's nerve wracking, but it's
why is that nerve wracking though? I feel like that's the most exciting part because like you're done.
See, that's the thing. I thought the same thing in freshman year. Like I thought I was so prepared to get to this year, but it seemed like it went so fast.
Yeah.
Like during the pandemic and all this, like, my class will be the first class to ever go back in school, like fully in full capacity. And so we're gonna have to be like the head honchos setting the bar, like, so it's gonna be like crazy. Like I can't even think about it how that's gonna be, but it's definitely like because I'm about to go to college. This year I turn 18. It's a lot of things that I really didn't think that much about, and it's happening this quick because time is no man's friend. And so it's definitely gonna be something that's gonna hit me in my head. But I'm prepared. I'm prepared to get hit in my head. Like I'm definitely prepared to get hit in my head. But like I'm gonna hit on a blow too.
Okay.
Father nature, how you want to go all the time. I'm gonna hit y'all with some quick blows too because I'm prepared.
Right.
But no one's ever 100% prepared about anything. So you just gotta go with the flow sometimes. So
it's funny. I feel like out of all the classes, quarantine kind of made Jaws class grow up quicker than everyone else. My class, we have a little bit more time. We're about to be juniors, so we still have a little bit more time before we have to fully get into that mode. So we have a whole year to figure it out. Then everybody under, they of course got time. Then the people already graduated, so it's y'all like.
No, you put too much pressure on it. See,
I gotta figure it out.
You think about it even more. Come on, man. Like you.
That's not where I was going with that though. That's not where I was going. The reason I asked you if you was going to Duke Ellington School of the Arts is to ask for your honest opinions on Duke. Now I know that your dad works at the school, so I know if he is listening in right now, you might not be 100% honest as you.
I'm 100% honest regardless how I am.
Oh, all right, I'm back. I like that. Keep that energy. I like that. All right, let's rock. Come on, let's go. Tell me.
Like about the department or like the school in general?
The school in general.
Going into Duke, it was always it could be a scary thing because of the fact like this big school has a big reputation, and you want to fulfill that reputation, and you think that reputation is when I go to Duke, I can be famous. That was like the go-to, like, oh yeah, if I go to Duke, I can be famous. And that's not what Duke is. And I don't like when, and sometimes they can perceive that a lot. It's very much like it can, certain people, some people don't get the message of Duke. And that's what the one thing I don't like. I hear a lot of kids who come in like, you know, I'm gonna be the next Chris Brown. I'm gonna be the next, you know, Chadwick Boseman. You know, I would never come out my mouth and say I will be the next anything. I will be Demontae Addison. That's me. You know, I can't be the next anything. I can take what they've given me. Mm-hmm. I can take what Chadwick given us as actors and Viola Davis or my Professor Katz, you know, like people like those who give us gems, but I can't be the next anything, because if you try to fulfill someone else's shoes, you're like basically killing yourself at the same time, you know? So like, I don't like how certain people come into Duke and because of the reputation, they get the wrong idea that, oh, yeah, I can be famous. That's one. And two, I love the sense of community. Like I love like Duke. I love people. Like I think Duke made me realize how much I love like being social. Like I wasn't very social in middle school, so like being social, that's like a big thing at Duke. Like regardless how many friends you have, you're being social regardless of where you go.
Right.
But it can become very how can I put this, messy, because as the community, it's one, rumors get around fast. A lot of things happen at the school, you know, sometimes Duke gets too much freedom. And it was like that freedom can be, for some students can take that for granted and then do certain things that might kill off the reputation of the school, or like do things that question Duke Ellington, you know, even like certain situations in the past where it's like, Duke Ellington done that? Really? Duke Ellington School of the Arts done that? Like, you know, that thing kind of irritates me, because then it actually make our lives more hard, because we have to work 10 times probably as hard in our minds to get Duke Ellington back on his feet, because Duke Ellington is nothing without its artists. You know, Duke Ellington is Duke Ellington. Okay, the building, it's a beautiful building. Okay, what is it without us?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if we not acting on the stage, if singers not singing to the highest note on the third floor, if LMC is not writing it, you know what I'm saying? Like, all these people that make Duke, regardless of how the case may be, it makes our lives harder. So like, that's one thing, my honest opinions about Duke, but it's a great school.
What? It's a great school. What makes me so mad is that people don't understand, right? That the school, okay, and I don't want to say this as if like our acting teachers are amazing. I love our acting teachers. They are great. They are amazing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we can find some more acting teachers. I can look online right now for another acting teacher. Will they be as good as the Professor Katz? Probably not. But will I be getting some acting training? You can say yes, right?
Yeah.
Without the students, Duke Ellington would not run. It wouldn't be a thing.
No.
It wouldn't be a thing. Why don't we understand that? And not like understand that to like change the school so we can like run it in a sense, but change it for the better. So all of our demands, all of our needs, all of our wants can get met. Why, as a student body, we don't understand that?
I don't know. I mean, it's not partially our fault, I think, because Duke is actually quite different from the times, you know, Miss Katz was first starting, or like my was going there, or something like, or like my older sister was going there. Like it's kind of it's at first when you think of Duke Ellington back then, it was like how the NBA is now. The players run the NBA. You know what I mean? Like ain't nobody gonna say like that. Like I was reading like something about like the NBA would never suspend LeBron for 2 games.
Okay.
You know, like they can't do that. They will lose money. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But when you think about like the people who watch, regardless if you hate LeBron or you don't, or you do like LeBron, you're watching LeBron. You know, like you're watching. You was watching Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? But now it seems now in a system where it's like the NFL, where people are scared to talk up. And when we do talk up, people don't listen. Or like when we do talk up, it's now becoming like a thing where it's like, oh, you shouldn't talk about like that. You know, how y'all going about it. Y'all should take y'all time. We're doing the best we can. It's not, y'all not doing the best y'all can right now. Like this is situations that we've been asking for like for over 2 years and that we've been talking about for like some time now. And we haven't got any change about that. And now we're still irritated and aggravated and very livid that this stuff is now keep happening to us and to our friends, to our friends. Like this is not how I want the future of Duke Ellington. This because we actually care about Duke Ellington. Like we don't complain about stupid stuff. Like I hate complaining. I do not argue with you. I hate that. Like if I don't care, I'll shut down in your face. But when I do have something to say, it will be important because like I don't talk about anything that's stupid. Like this is for the future of everyone that wants to pursue in the same footsteps as us. And we leave a type of mark where it's like you have a saying as well as an artist because you are the change. You are the reason why you will be the reason why other people succeed, why other people do the same thing you do. You will inspire every other person, you know what I mean? And that's what I want to leave other than like teachers, a monarchy type system. And that's not how I want Duke to be. But at the time, it's giving off that.
Yeah. It's definitely not giving what needs to be gave. I like that analogy though, that sports analogy. I like that. I'm gonna take that. I'm definitely still in that. We are currently in June of 2021. But I'm talking about way back. But during that week we thought was spring break, and that ended up turning into now. Yeah, you logged on as a sophomore. You logging off as a senior. That transition.
Oh, wow.
That transition of okay, I'm a sophomore, we about to be back in school. Okay, we not back in school, but we still okay. I'm going back in the building as a senior. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like do you feel like a year was wasted of school?
Most definitely. I think my class has talked about it many times where like we feel like our experience have been cheated. Like it is not no one's fault. Like it's someone's fault. Trump, you know what I'm saying? I don't like that, man. You know, we ain't gonna talk about that.
Right.
Man, we ain't gonna talk about Cheeto, man. But like, we feel like our experiences and how we act, because like I think this virtual stuff has taught us a lot. But I don't think certain people like Professor Katz, who's old school. You know, like she when we
don't know what she doing on those Zoom.
She didn't know what she was doing on the Zoom. Everybody, and we was just thrown into it. We didn't get taught how to do a Zoom, but like we didn't get taught how to self-tape. We had to learn all this stuff. Like we kind of did learn how, but it was like we was going in a fast pace, and it was like, oh my God! And then the next thing you know, we're juniors. We do a whole virtual thing of being a junior, and it's like we're now doing scenes on Zoom. We're now doing monologues on Zoom. It was like, oh my God, like I literally, at the time being, I was like, okay. Like I didn't even want to get on Zoom. Like it was such an irritating moment. Like I had to come on here. Okay. So my scene partner's not here. Okay, I gotta wait here again. I gotta hear people talking about me through Zoom. Oh, my connection's bad. Now people think I'm skipping. Like it's all this stuff. Like it gets on my nerve. Like, oh, like certain teachers don't, and it's like even like grading process. It's like the grading process can be long. I thought when in the school, I thought my grades was down because I didn't do the work. But like it seemed like when I did do the work, they did that. They put in the work instantly. It was like, oh, now teachers at home, they don't. Demontae just turned in his assignment. Oh,
I'm gonna put that in tomorrow.
Tomorrow
end up being
I'm
the
gonna put that
deadline.
in. I will put that in what's the calendar? What's the end June 16th? I'm gonna put it on the 15th at 11:59. And they might do something petty too. It might be like, I'm gonna check. Look, oh, he got the first question wrong. F. Like I swear to God, it would be like that. Sometimes I'd be like literally punching my screen. Like I was like, what you on? Like why would you do that? Like what you want? Like do you need a hug? You need a hug or a kiss or something, bro? Like what's up with you? Like you need me pull up? We can have tea. Like what's your problem against me? Like like what's up with you? That's how I feel. So like going into now the senior year, all in person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how Duke Ellington is going to do it, like with 500 kids. And it's so odd because, senior year, I do origins. I do a lot of directing in my senior year. And like, the only really class I know is your class. Like, I don't know the freshman class. I don't know the freshman class coming in. I don't know nobody. Like, and how can I, I don't know how the social distance thing going to work. Like, I can't communicate. I can't socialize with you or the other people because I probably got to stay 10 feet apart. Not 6 feet, 10 feet because I'm an actor and I'm considered a super spreader because I'm an actor. So it's like, I got to stay super away from you people. So now I have to, and then when I do senior projects, I got to pick y'all.
Exactly.
Will be my actor. So it's like, dang, how I'm going to pick somebody if I don't even know him or her or they? Like, come on now. Like, however the pronouns may be. Like, it's like, how will I ever, like, I don't know. That's another moment of like, okay, I have to go with the flow. I'm gonna get up over my head. I don't know how they gonna do it, but like, I'm gonna just do the best I can.
And that's another reason why I say that child class kind of had to like grow up really fast, because now y'all in y'all senior year, y'all doing all this directing, but on top of that, y'all also got senior showcase y'all have to worry about doing that. Then y'all got whatever the spring show is going to be. Y'all know you want to do it. Y'all know want to do a spring show. Y'all haven't been able to do a spring show yet. Everybody want to be a part of that jump. I know y'all want to be a part of a spring show.
Bro, you coming for our lives right now.
So I don't know. Next year is gonna be fun for y'all, boy. I want to see how y'all get through this.
Fun for y'all to watch. It's gonna be stressful, boy. I can already see it now, but like, what, Mr. Johnson? What is going on here? We ain't picked this play. What are you doing? No, we ain't doing this. You're gonna be running around like oh boy, I can just see it right now. I can just.
Man, Demontae
gonna feel like freshman year again.
Yeah, no cap.
Yeah, you know how freshman year is.
Horrible.
Freshman year. So
terrible.
You know how that is.
Yeah. We don't want to run that. Y'all, we don't want to run that back. Class of 23 do not want to run that back. Cool on that. But Demontae, thank you for coming on the podcast. It's been an honor. Your stories, what you've been talking about, is amazing. But before you get off, we do need your dead or alive. Now, everybody that's watching the ArtsBlock podcast, hello. I'm your beautiful, wonderful, melanated host, Eric Curry III. If this is your first time watching the ArtsBlock podcast, hello. If this is your last time watching the ArtsBlock podcast, well, goodbye. But Dead or Alive is a segment on the podcast where the artist gets to choose a couple of artists who they would like to work with that is dead or alive. You can choose one artist. You can choose 100 artists. Please don't choose 100 artists because I still have to edit this podcast. Dead or alive, it's on you.
So how many? 5?
And as many as you want.
As I want to work with.
Yeah, that you want to work with.
Acting.
Anything.
Oh, wow. Okay. So for acting, Viola Davis will always be number one.
Ooh.
Viola Davis, like that's my one thing. Rest in peace to the GOAT, but Chadwick Boseman as well.
Yes.
Denzel Washington. I would say Meryl Streep. Andrea Day. Zendaya. I don't know. People be sleeping on Zendaya, but Zendaya can act. I was Zendaya so bad. Taraji P. Henson. Oh, yes. I've met her like a couple times, but like to work on the actual set with her, most definitely. And like let's say I wanted to pursue like music, it would be Tiana Taylor. And I would like to be directed by her for some reason. Like it's like director. And I would like to work with J. Cole.
Of course.
Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne, and Drake at the same time. So that's one as well.
At the same time.
Like, yeah, at the same time, you know. Like it, yeah. And then dance. You know, Monte can move a little bit too. Okay. You know, you seen me dance. You know what I mean? I can
move a little bit. Yeah.
Isaiah Williams, like y'all, you don't know him. He was a 2019 senior, one of the best choreographers I know. So like, I'd love to be, if I ever had to dance class, it would be him. Debbie Allen, Tiana Taylor again.
Bring that back. Okay.
And, I think that's all.
Yeah. They're gonna start hating you once we get off the podcast, though. That's how.
Yeah, no,
they're gonna start hating you. I got. Wait. For me, I got my last two because you know I'm a diehard. I grew up with Tupac. I grew up. Fun fact: I was told that he was my uncle until I found out. To the age of like 13, I found out he wasn't my uncle, and I was pissed because my uncle he was. I grew up with that man. And then he started like dissing to me because I started listening to Biggie too, but like cool too, and Jay-Z and Beyonce as well. So that's it. That's all. I'm sorry to everybody I missed out, but like these are my opinions. My opinions. Look at the podcast. I say it's an opinionated world. We all have our opinions. Man, Demontae, thank you so much for coming on the podcast, man. It's been an honor. But you right now you are in the place of an older actor, an older entertainer, right? There's younger entertainers watching this podcast right now. They struggle, going through the same thing you was going through. They told their friends that they want to be an entertainer. They like, fool, go ahead somewhere. What's the advice that you would give them right now?
How uncensored can I be?
That's uncensored that you want.
You put 2 middle fingers up in their face. This is the uncensored way. I'm gonna give you this uncensored way. You put 2 middle fingers up in their face and say, I don't care what you think about me. I don't care what you think I might be, because regardless of what I'm doing, it's making me happy.
Okay.
I don't care. The censored way ain't no censored way. That's the way it's gonna go. Because at the same, you have to understand that you are you. You are nobody else. You can't be nobody else. You will never be somebody else. Don't ever try to be like someone else, because at the same time, you will always kill yourself. You will always feel like you have to close yourself between reality and the reality of you being yourself. Like you separate yourself from that, and it actually can ruin you. Like it will actually like beat you down physically and emotionally and mentally. So always do what's best for you. Always make yourself happy before anyone else's, before family, before friends, before anything, because you are with you 100% of the day. No one else is. Right. So always, hey, do you know what I'm saying? And for the people that's hating, give them a kiss and wave. You know what I'm saying?
We are going to give a kiss and wave to everybody that's watching this episode of ArtsBlock Podcast right now. Again, Demontae, thank you for coming on. It's been an honor. Thank y'all for watching the ArtsBlock Podcast. If you're listening on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can be notified every time we post a podcast. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, make sure you give me a 5-star review. You can follow me on Instagram at Eric Curry III. You can follow the podcast at ArtsBlock Podcast. All of Demontae's links will be linked down in the description below and stuff. And yeah, remember that artists never die. And I'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Yes, sir.